Many ideas about slavery come from films like 12 Years a Slave or Django Unchained. We recognize the auction blocks, the suffocating heat, and the cracking whips as the primary symbols of that era. These cinematic depictions are sanitized glimpses of a 400-year reality. They capture isolated acts of violence, but the true scope of the institution was broader and more systematic. Slavery was a highly organized, legally sanctioned, global economic machine built on human suffering. To understand the persistence of this institution, we must look past the individual acts of cruelty and analyze the logistics, the compounding data, and the massive scale of the machine itself. The supply chain took shape in 1444. Portuguese traders in Lagos bypassed North African routes to capture and sell enslaved Africans directly, shifting the global economy toward human trafficking. This data visualization shows the scale of the transatlantic voyages, starting in 1526. Over the next 3.5 centuries, the system stole 12.5 million Africans from their homes. The logistics of transport required captives to be stripped, branded, and packed into the dark, sweltering cargo holds seen in these stowage plants. Because of these conditions, 15 to 25% died from disease, starvation, or suicide before reaching the shore. The machine reached English North America in August 1619. A pirate ship landed near Jamestown, Virginia, carrying 20-odd captured Angolans, who were traded for basic food and supplies. Within its first 150 years, this network transformed human beings into viable, transportable commodities on a formalized intercontinental scale. By the late 1700s, some assumed slavery would die out naturally because it was economically inefficient. Eli Whitney's cotton gin upended that calculation in 1793. By automating the removal of seeds, the machine made cotton processing profitable on a massive scale. This chart shows the immediate economic fallout. As cotton profitability surged, the demand for forced labor mirrored it, making enslaved people the most valuable financial asset in the American economy. When the U.S. banned international human imports in 1808, the machine adapted. A domestic market emerged, force-marching over 1 million people from the Upper South to the grueling labor of the Deep South. On the auction block, the machine utilized psychological terror to maintain control, routinely tearing husbands from wives and mothers from their children for profit. The law codified this system. People were legally classified as property, and statutes explicitly forbade teaching them to read or write, ensuring they remained isolated and dependent. The cotton gin provided the financial incentive to refine these methods of physical and psychological control over 1 million human beings. The American economy's reliance on this trafficking machine eventually reached a limit that tore the United States apart. Over 600,000 Americans died in a civil war fought over the right to own human beings. The legislative collapse of the system began in 1863 when Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. However, it wasn't until the 13th Amendment was ratified in 1865 that chattel slavery was officially abolished across the country. While the legal framework of chattel slavery was gone, the Southern economy's desire for free labor remained. The 400-year-old machine did not break in 1865. It merely mutated to function within new legal boundaries. Control was maintained through Jim Crow laws and the systemic disenfranchisement of Black citizens. The system utilized convict leasing, where Black citizens were arrested and forced into unpaid agricultural labor to keep the old economic gears turning. The machine proved it could outlast the laws designed to stop it. By evolving from chattel slavery into convict leasing and systemic disenfranchisement, its blueprints for the extraction of labor survived to shape the social and economic foundations of the modern world.